Hey everybody, it's your favorite physics teacher, senior physics teacher of 2011, fifth and sixth period. Um, it's October 3rd, and I'm sorry I can't be with you today, uh, but we got an exciting day planned for you. Uh, Last Friday, everybody was doing an awesome job looking at their uh, fan cart data, and so uh, what we want to do today is continue that analysis of your fan cart data and then push that forward through a whiteboarding discussion. So for the first 10 minutes of class or so, you're going to revisit your analysis. Okay, we got laptops over in the corners. Um, and then what you're going to do is after about 10 minutes or during that 10 minutes and then maybe 5 minutes more, by 15 minutes in, you should have a, a really nice whiteboard of summarizing your results. And on that whiteboard, what I want to see is a mathematical relationship uh, that you may be describing. I want you to describe your data graphically, uh, some verbal description or written description on your whiteboard, and some diagram. Okay, and we're looking at our fan cart data. So the goals that we were, well, the analysis that you were doing last Friday and that what I want you to communicate today to each other are what your X versus T graph looks like, what your V versus T graph looks like, and then what velocity versus distance traveled looks like. Okay, and so you have to be economized with your space on your whiteboard. Uh, and so we've got some target goals in terms of your discussion too. So be thinking about this while you're generating your your whiteboards and kind of revisiting your analysis. So you'll probably get a, a curve fit for each of these, okay? And if you don't know how to do a curve fit right now, ask somebody, okay? But really ask somebody in the classroom what to do to make a good curve fit and ask them how they're doing their curve fit. And that's going to be part of the whiteboard discussion. But if you're not there yet with your analysis, ask somebody before you begin your whiteboard how they did their curve fit. And what I want us to think about with our mathematical, like when we're discussing the the whiteboard results, are what are these coefficients of whatever curve fit you found for any of these relationships, x versus t, v versus t, or v versus x. What do the coefficients mean? What are their values? And what are their units? And so what do they mean to you physically? Okay. Similarly, with the graphical analysis, you've got an equation that describes some relationship between x versus t. What does the shape of this curve mean to you? And how are the shapes of x versus t related to in, the v versus t graph, if at all? And how to these two relate to the v versus x graph, if at all? Okay, so think about that. Um, and your verbal descriptions, of course, are the most important in terms of communicating these results. So those are, and what I want us to be looking for in general are similarities and differences between people's approaches to collecting data and also how they represent their results. Okay, and so the format uh, of the whiteboarding, I think we all kind of understand how this works in general, but we're going to give each group uh, one at a time kind of 2 minutes to present, and then about 1 to 2 minutes, no more than that, kind of 2 to 5 minutes for questions. Okay, and if the questions stall out, then go on to the next group. If the discussion is productive, then keep going on with that discussion. And please reference your results if you're asking a question, but don't just say, well, I did this, and so why didn't you do that? But maybe, well, that would be technically a question, but it, again, it's not exactly an informative question, okay, or something that pushes the discussion forward. And I know that you know how to do all this stuff, and so uh, maybe maybe we'll just have a great discussion for your homework, and maybe the whiteboard discussion will last about 15-20 minutes, maybe longer. Uh, but really what we're looking for are generalizations, okay? So is there something similar between everybody's results? Because many different folks use different methods for this experiment. All right, so are there similarities in the results? Are there differences? Is there a general consensus that the class can reach about X versus T, V versus T, or V versus X of a fan cart? If not, uh, why? Is it experimental differences, or did the fan carts really just behave differently? Uh, and then after everybody's had kind of enough to say, and you've maybe come to some general consensus or agreed to disagree, uh, the next thing to do will be summarize your results. And you might have time to do this in class. You'll certainly have time to start it, but what I want is a 1 to 2 page summary of today's events. And so the specific uh, details of that are on Moodle. And briefly, I'll tell you here what I want out of your summary. It's going to be due the next time we see each other, either Tuesday or Wednesday. It's going to be a summary of your results. So basically what you put on your whiteboard in written form, uh, a summary of the class results and any general consensus that the class has reached, and then why any similarities or differences between your results, your group's results, and the class's results. All right, so that's what I want you to do today. Uh, I know you'll handle it awesome. You guys are great. I love y'all, and I'll see you next time.